Welcome back to the Tip of the Ice-Burgh podcast, brought to you as always by the Hockey Podcast Network, as well as DraftKings. Make sure you use promo code THPN on the DraftKings Sportsbook app or the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app for great deals and great opportunities. Definitely use DraftKings. I know I've loved DraftKings every second I've used it. I've taken a bit of a break from sports betting because I lost not a lot of money, but I just stopped winning for a while. So I stopped sports betting, taking a break, just kind of refresh the brain there. But our Pens poll this week, Horwat, now that both drafts, the expansion and the NHL entry, are over, what is the biggest piece of offseason business left for the Pittsburgh Penguins? Changes at goaltender, obviously, won the poll with 59%. Trading Jason Zucker and Marcus Pettersson came in second place with 31% of the vote. Finding depth forwards got 8% of the vote, and other got 2% of the vote. So clearly, this was a two-horse race between changes at goaltender and trading Jason Zucker or Marcus Pettersson. Horwat, what do you think left is most important? You said you think the more moves are coming down the pipeline. What do you think is the most important piece of business?
I probably said the Zucker and Pettersson trade. The thing, when did you post this? This was before free agency, right?
Yeah, this was last Monday.
Yeah, we found our depth forwards. Done. So that one would have been the winner in reality. So here we are with changes at goalie winning. Of course it is, because it is a what have you done for me lately fan base. And
league.
Yeah, but I'm focusing on our fans here. And Tristan Jarry, not much. Casey DeSmith, he was hurt, so nothing. Maxim Lagacé, hey, he had a shutout. Oh, he's in Tampa now? Cool. We have no goalies left, really. We signed one, which is cool. But we didn't make a move for a goalie, and we didn't make an attempt to change it. So as of right now, we're stuck with it. That is why I'm kind of backing up on the Zucker Pettersson. Plus, I mentioned it a lot earlier why Pettersson should be attempted moved out anyway. So boom.
I think the best addition to the Penguins' top six would be Jason Zucker reverting to the player that we traded for.
Good Lord, would it ever be?
I mean, clearly it's going to be hard for him to play up to $5.5 million. And listen, he didn't do that last season, and I understand that. But if he can find any modicum of that early chemistry he had with Sidney Crosby, or he never really had chemistry with Evgeny Malkin, but if he can show what he showed in that first little half season or trade deadline to the end of the season, then I think that's a great addition to the Pittsburgh Penguins. And honestly, I know that he's on the trade block simply because of his cap space. Again, it's one of those things that the worst thing that ever happened to NHL general managers was capfriendly.com. It's one of the greatest things for me, but one of the worst things for NHL general managers. I think if Zucker can come around and just improve, start to get his shooting percentage up a little bit, because we saw the effort last year. Clearly, the dude puts in the work. Clearly, the dude flies all over the ice, almost at Tanev levels at points. He just needs to get that finish a little bit better. And I think we started to see that towards the end of last season. He had a nice goal in the playoff series against the New York Islanders. If we can start to see more stuff like that, then maybe you don't need to trade Jason Zucker. I know the cap situation is hard. The flat cap is going to have its casualties, but if Jason Zucker can come back to what he was when he first got to Pittsburgh, I think that would be a tremendous, technically, addition to the Pittsburgh Penguins top six this year. And I understand the changes at goalie are easily the biggest piece of offseason business. I mean, clearly what you saw from Tristan Jarry in the postseason, it frightens you. And would be different if he didn't have such a horrible start to the regular season as well. If he had gone out with a .922 save percentage and then did that in the postseason, that's one thing. But there were times where he was in the 800s and the 880s in save percentage in the regular season, and then to do that in the postseason, that's why there's some discontent with what Tristan Jarry brings to the table. Now, again, he could revert as well, and that would be great for the Penguins. But I think you need somebody else in there to reassure that what happens last season doesn't happen. And if Jarry does start to play like that, there is an option that you can go to with experience in the postseason, like a Thomas Vokoun, like a whatever Anton Khudobin did for the Dallas Stars a couple seasons ago. Have that guy there, because you might need him with Tristan Jarry. You might not, which would be great, but you might need him.
Yeah, it's possible you might. Ideally, any team should have the 1A, 1B situation. It's just sometimes, it really doesn't help that the Andre Vasilevskys of the world are out there just eating people alive in that. So, it's hard when you just keep getting compared to some of the best in the sport right now. Clearly, we don't have that, but it also doesn't help that Fleury decided to revert to form.
Yeah,
that doesn't sit well with the fan base.
Man, if Matt Murray has a great season in Ottawa, Lord help everybody. If Matt Murray comes out and puts up a .920 save percentage with a 2.5 or below goals allowed average with Ottawa.
You want to make it worse is if his 1B and backup situation is Philip Gustafsson.
Yeah.
Which again, prospect trade, it's still, and that's one that only like the diehards will understand.
Yeah.
Like us, because if you don't actually play in Pittsburgh, a lot of people just won't know who you are. So yeah, but no, I think that would be the biggest stinger, was if we lost Gustafsson to an awful, was that the Brassard deal?
That was part of the Brassard deal, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, if Gustafsson pops off, I'm going to be mad. I'm so mad.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see what happens with all that. There's still not much to be done in the offseason for Ron Hextall. He might do something, he might not. He is kind of Fort Knox. And like I said, I have an article coming out today trying to decipher what his plan is for the Pittsburgh Penguins, both this season and in the future. So definitely go check that out. But before we go, one last piece of news for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Jake Guentzel got married over the weekend. He is off the market, ladies. Congratulations to Jake and his now wife, Natalie, who got married over the weekend. It was great to see the pictures of Chad Ruhwedel, Zach Aston-Reese, Teddy Bluger, all enjoying and all celebrating with Gensey. And obviously, this is all via Chad Ruhwedel's Instagram. So thank you to his wife mainly for posting those pictures. And congratulations to Jake. I didn't even know he was engaged, but congratulations. That it's great that he got this piece of business done before the season. Now we'll see how he plays as a married man.
How about
I'm sure it won't change much.
How about Chad Ruhwedel just being every teammate's friend?
He's a great guy. Give him a shot. Give him a shot in the lineup. Let him play all 82.
That's a morale boost right there. You put him in the lineup. That's just everybody's buddy out there,
I want to see what happens when he scores a goal this year, because clearly he scored goals before, but I haven't paid too much attention to the reaction on the bench. I want to see him score a goal and see how happy everybody down the line of that bench is.
He's everyone's friend. It's always his social media that pops off with this stuff.
Yeah. He's everywhere and nowhere all at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's made a lot of friends in the press box, because that's where he spent most of his time here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so be it.
Yeah, but he's been the best he's been the best seventh defenseman for the Penguins that I can remember. Who else misses 40 games, 3 months, and is just like, yeah, I'll come in, put in 15 minutes, have a great Corsi, and have a couple shots on goal and not allow anything.
Right.
So you got to love Chad Ruhwedel. You got to love Jake Guentzel. Hopefully he pops off for another point per game season. Horwat, anything else you want to say before we let the folks go for the first time this week?
Thanks to everyone who listened to the entirety of the last episode. I realized once we finished recording, everything was really long. How long did it end up being?
Just about an hour and 20 minutes. It's been a while since we've put out an episode that long, but we also had a great interview. So
exactly. And
if you haven't heard it before, go back and listen to our interview with Jesse Marshall on our last episode 68.
If you only want to listen to the interview, that's out there. That's on YouTube. And yeah, it's a ton of, thanks to everyone who listened to that, because it's been a while since we had an episode like that. This one is starting to drag on. I'm seeing my thing hit 51 minutes. So, sorry again, but hey, I hope you like hockey talk.
Yeah, I hope it was good content. I hope you guys all enjoyed the episode. Thank you very much for tuning in. That's going to do it for this episode of The Tip of the Ice-Burgh, Season 2, Episode 69. It was a great episode. It was a nice episode. But we're going to see you guys on Thursday. Have a good week, Pens fans.